In this video, we're really gonna be dialing in pricing your services and how to go about that, and really kind of looking at, what are the pros and the cons of the different pricing models that we've just covered, okay? So when I think about price, I like to think of the quote of, that a transaction takes place where value exceeds price. So don't start thinking about, what is your hourly rate gonna be or your project fee. I want you to really start by thinking about, the value that you're providing, and knowing fully well that, a transaction is gonna take place where the value with what you're providing to your marketplace is greater than the price that you're asking for, okay? Now, if you're stuck on, what model that you're gonna do and kind of what's taking place, the first place that you want to start is by having a look at, how your competitors are pricing. And the reason that I say that is you might be thinking at this stage that the hourly rate is the model that's gonna be the best for you to go down to. However, if you don't get a read on what your competitors are doing, and say for instance that they're all charging, a retainer fee, and then you go out into the marketplace and you're charging $60 an hour, Now, you're entering into a market where everybody is doing a retainer base. That's gonna be very confusing for your prospect when you're selling against anybody that's doing a retainer fee. And kind of the level of education in that market. They're already kind of accustomed to paying a monthly fee, right? But if you come at them like, okay, well, I'm gonna be charging you $60 an hour. How long is it gonna take in order for you to complete that task? And these are all questions that are gonna come up in that sales process. And because you're just getting started, you don't really wanna be trying to disrupt the status quo, You're trying to find a creative, viable consulting business. So I would highly suggest looking at what your competitors are doing as a pricing model, and simply mimic that from the get-go, just to begin with, right? Just for you to kind of wet your teeth and for you to get some traction and to keep that ball rolling. Just don't try to go higher than what they're doing. Don't go a lot cheaper than what they're offering. Just go out with kind of a medium range of what your market is offering, because that's the way it's gonna be less education that you need to provide to that marketplace, and you can go out there and really just kind of articulate the value that you're bringing, more so than the exact nitty-gritty of, okay, that's gonna be 30 hours of 15 hours and have them doing all these calculations. You just wanted to keep it nice and simple to begin with. So go out there. The way I recommend you doing this is obviously, setting up a different email address, going out there and shopping the competitors. Doing that via phone, via email, live chat, and basically getting their proposals. And look at kind of how are they breaking up, how are they packaging up their offers, and how are they charging. And that'll give you a really good kind of stepping stone for you to start to think about pricing up your services. And when you're looking at pricing and pricing models, you really want to tie it back and have a look at, all your goals. Look at your vision board. How much do you want to earn? What does your lifestyle look like? And how much are you gonna need to earn it in order to support that lifestyle? And if you're wanting to make 70 grand a year or 100,000 a year, and you're thinking about pricing your services at $20 an hour, we're gonna run through the math right now and see that's probably not gonna be achievable, okay? So let's just say for the pricing model that you want to look at is you want to earn $60,000 in your first year. So we're gonna have a look and break that down and say there's 52 weeks in a year. Okay, and if there's 52 weeks in a year, that's basically gonna have a look at this 40 hours per week that you're gonna be earning, and you wanna basically take that $60,000 and you wanna divide it, first of all, by the number of weeks that there are in a year. So being 52, and then you want to divide it again by the number of working hours that there are in a week, being 40, which arrives you somewhere around that kind of $1,200 per week. So that's a really kind of easy way to start to get down to, this is what I'm going to be charging per hour. Then once you've figured out what that hourly rate is, as a very general rule of thumb, you want to mark that up by 40%, which kind of covers overheads and all the kind of different things that are involved in running a business, to kind of give you an idea of what would be charging per hour. Now, let's think about like the problem that you're solving for that prospect. And let's think about what are the different options that are available in order for that person to reach that desired outcome. So whether you're a copywriter or you're a media consultant or a social media manager, pretty much the two different options that every single person has is that they can hire a consultant to do that service on a retainer-based fee or an hourly rate or a project fee. And all those different pricing models that we've discussed, or they can just hire somebody in-house to solve that problem for them. So let's just look at the retainer-based model very quickly. And let's just say that we're charging $2,000 per month as a consultant on retainer-based arrangement. Over the course of the year, that would be $24,000. Some basic mathematics there for you guys. However, let's just have a look at what would that cost them in order to solve that problem by hiring an in-house person full-time. And you might be wanting to look at job boards to find out how much people are charging in that space for a full-time position. You might find that you're an SEO provider, and to get an SEO in-house person, it's gonna be basically costing someone a salary of $70,000 per year. But then you're just charging $2,000 a retainer, which is $24,000 over the year, providing a significant saving for that person, right? And also, there's not all the headaches of hiring someone and then going away on a holiday and all those different kinds of things. So really, I always like to pitch high. I always like to value my time and value my services as just a 10% of the value that I create for that end user. So that's really kind of the way you want to be thinking about. Don't feel like, oh wow, how can I charge $2,000 a month or $500 a week when I'm only gonna be spending X amount to solve that problem? No, you want to be thinking about what is worth to your prospect to solve this problem. And the more skillful that you are and the better you get over time, it's basically gonna be, you're gonna be rewarded for being more efficient and ultimately for providing value and helping your client get from one state where there's a problem they experience to moving them down to that path and bringing them toward that desired end state of having that problem solved and really creating the value for them. And you should really be compensated as a percentage of that value you created, not based on you working for 5 hours or for 2 hours or whatever it might be. So that's the way that I really look at pricing, and you really want to get sold on the value that you're providing to that person. If you're not sold on how big of a problem it is that you're solving and how much that you're charging for this service, you're gonna have a hard time in going out and really kind of getting other people sold on that too, you know? have a look at comparatives. What are the options of hiring somebody? Have a look at, what is the end result? How much is it worth to that person? And then have a look at your pricing and get 100% sold that you feel and you believe that that is a real fair estimation of the value that you're really creating for that prospect. Now, I've obviously referenced about value-based pricing. So let's kind of, dive into that greater detail and look at some examples and some specifics, okay? So say for instance, you might be a digital marketing consultant, and the way that you kind of want to reverse engineer this equation to find out how much you should be charging is, let's just say for instance, you're doing digital marketing and you're working with a financial planner, and you kind of want to be speaking to a financial planner and get an idea of how much the lifetime value of an average client is worth for them, and then how many clients do they want per month. So we might say, for an easy calculation, that the average client to a financial planner is worth $10,000, and they want to get 4 clients per month, equating to $40,000 per month as a result of hiring you and using your services. So then what you want to do is have a look at, all right, how many leads do we need to generate this person in order for them to land 4 new clients per month? And once you kind of run the math on that, this is how much it's gonna be costing us per lead. We need to get 4 clients. The ultimate end goal that you're trying to do is generate $40,000 per month in additional revenue for that client. So what do you feel would be, a good representation of what to charge for that, knowing fully well that that $40,000 is likely gonna retain every single month for that person. So the lifetime value of that client is gonna be far greater than the revenue that you're producing for them in just month 1. And you might say that, okay, we're gonna be charging you 10% of the value that we're creating for that, plus our retainer fee. Meaning that for every client that you land, that you're gonna get 10% of that $10,000 that you really bring into that business. So as you ratchet that up and as you get them more clients, you're also incentivized by being really efficient with their media spend and with your services, because you're being rewarded for every client they get in. Or you may just look at it like, I'm not gonna be in control of what percentage of leads that this person closes, and it's not fair to be paid just on that, because I'm not gonna be an integral part of getting on the telephone and closing out those leads. So you might say that your fee is $2,000 per month, and in addition to that, you want to be paid $50 for every lead that you generate, or $30 on top of what you're charging them. Again, as you start to scale them out and they start to spend more money, those fees are all gonna add up, and you're gonna be making a nice additional revenue stream on top of already what is your base retainer fee. So that's definitely the model that I see the market going to. It's definitely the model that I recommend for you, regardless of what service that you're offering, whether it's writing or custom acquisitions for digital marketing or a wellness coach. And they might have like a weight goal that they're trying to hit. Well, you get a kickback when they reach that goal, and they reach it quicker. So there's ways that you can really get creative about what's involved. And I guess it always comes down to, really looking at your desired outcome and how much you want to be earning and what your lifestyle looks like. So what we've done is we've gone ahead and included a whole bunch of resources that you can dive right into, which runs you through kind of, how to break down into small little blocks how much money that you need to be earning in order for you to reach that desired income level, and all the different steps. And you can kind of play around with those calculators and see how they work for you, and see that there's not just one way to get towards what that salary looks like for you, but there's multiple different ways to approach to it, So you really need to think long term and big picture. Don't just think about how much money that you need to pay rent next week. You need to think about building a lifestyle and building a consulting kingdom for yourself, where you're factoring all the different things that could pop up, or helping out a family member if they get into an accident, and having the money to be able to support your loved ones and your friends around you. And that's not just based off the minimum you need to earn, but more so on the lifestyle you're trying to create for yourself. So go ahead and run those maths, and I encourage you to really think big. Think about all the different options and different variables to take into place, and I think it'll be really insightful for you to get a really clear picture of how you can actually achieve that earning potential and that desired outcome that you're looking for. Now, at this point in the course, you should really be clear on what your business model is, how much you're gonna be charging, and how should you also have a read on what your competitors are charging, what kind of offers that they're going out into the marketplace with, where they're getting their traffic from. And now moving forward, what we're gonna be diving into is kind of coming up with a business name for you that's cut through and clear, and we're gonna have a bit of fun with it. So go ahead and kind of take a bit of a breather, and we'll see you in the next video.